Hi guys, and welcome to the APAT Show. It's Sunday night, of course. Leigh and I have been playing a little bit of technical tennis, so we're a little bit late in starting. But welcome. Leigh.
My fault, everybody. Completely my fault. I've now got more things plugged into different devices. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but yeah, we're up and running.
It's like he's building Frankenstein's monster over there. We can rebuild him. Those were the last words I heard Leigh Wilshire say this evening. What are the guys playing, Leigh?
Yeah, so yeah, we are there eventually, and we're on week 44 of leaderboard ladders, which means we're on that Sunday night again, where everybody's vying for points to try and make it to the top. Really exciting at the top of the leaderboard actually this week, Des. A load of players. I mean, recognised players that we all know are up there a lot of the time. Gordon MacArthur leads the way. Dean Morby has had 3 cashes this week. He's only on step 1, so we're all rooting for Dean. So he's doing pretty well. Eddie is in 3rd. He's had 3 cashes this week. Our very own Tony G, Anthony Giantini, he's had 4 cashes this week. Shug has had 3 cashes this week, and Tony Ross is currently was in 6th at the moment. He's had 3 cashes this week. However, Tony has already put a marker down, Des. Already put a marker down, because in the 5 o'clock deep stack, absolutely smashed the guarantee tonight. $750 is the guarantee. We got $900 in the prize pool.
Nice.
And Tony Ross picked up the largest chunk of that, picking up $236 for beating Lillian Williams heads up, and Luke Plumley finished in 3rd in that. So that's actually moved Tony to the top of the leaderboard. Already. So that puts him now about 20 odd points ahead of Gordon at the moment. But of course, we've got 3 other tournaments. So the No Limit Hold'em main event tonight, $2,500 guarantee. That's got $3,282 in the prize pool tonight for that one. Absolutely huge. So 111 runners in that one. That's getting just got into the money on that one now. The PLO tonight, well, we just got past the guarantee, so $1,020 in that. 34 runners are fighting out for the top 6 cashes in positions in that one. And then finally, the 9 o'clock turbo knockout. It's a $500 guarantee, but what do we say every single week?
Smash it.
$850 in that prize pool tonight. 85 runners in that. It's paying top 13. So we will keep abreast of all the action, and obviously keep you updated on the leaderboard and who's in with a shout. I'll have to have a look and see exactly who's still in some of these other tournaments, as to whether I can see Eddie is still in the PLO. And they're now down to the final 6. So he's in the points. So Eddie was 3rd going into today. He's about 50 points off Tony at the moment. So, Eddie, PLO, that's one to focus on. And I can also see Brendan Byrne is still in the main event. But I don't see Gordon anywhere, unfortunately, which could mean I was hoping for a second I was going to get to do a Gordon's alive in the turbo knockout. He might still be alive in the turbo knockout. There's still 39 players left in that, so I'll have a look at that in a minute and see if he's.
Gordon may have shot his bolt early. I think that's what we're trying to understand.
Well, actually, in the turbo knockout, Shug is currently 3rd in chips of 39.
Okay.
Tony G is 4th in chips, and Brendan, who I mentioned, is in the main event. Well, Brendan is 2nd in chips in that turbo knockout as well. Now, Brendan is. Wow. Was 8th on the leaderboard going into tonight. So 2 cashes from Brendan could get him 100 points and get him over Tony, up ahead of Tony as well. So a lot going on. So
it sounds like it's all to play for, guys. As I said, we were playing a bit of technical tennis before we kicked off. So if you notice any issues on the stream, obviously Leigh and I can't monitor the stream while doing the stream. Do let us know in the chat box. I can see that there's a bunch of you already in there. Tony G was the first into the chat box. Leigh with an evening all. Evening to you, Mr. G, sir. Tony Ross is in there as well. Just keeping a careful eye on what everybody is doing, of course. And there's a bunch of others. Guys, if you want to shout out, just say hello. And Leigh, it's not long now. It's not long now until we're all going to be getting together, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're counting down the weeks, I guess, at the moment. But 280 runners all bought in already in advance. I've been having messages all week from people saying, will I be able to get into the team event? I said, well, basically, I think now We're not looking at any more team dropouts because we've had one or two that have said wanted to put a team in and then couldn't. That happens. But I think now with all players bought in, we're not expecting any team dropouts, but we will. I would be gobsmacked if we don't have one or two individuals that, for whatever reason, whether it's COVID related or not or whatever, may well not be able to make it on the day, and then teams might be looking for the odd player here or there. So I know Tom is keeping a kind of a list of what's going on there. So if you are interested, just drop Tom a message, just let him know. Doesn't do any harm just to let him know that you're going to be there for the weekend or you're interested. But yeah, absolutely cannot wait. Of course, the big buzz, Des, is well, when can I buy into the side events? And are they going to sell out? And well, I don't know whether you've seen what happened at Dusk Till Dawn over the weekend.
What's happened?
It was the UK Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah.
Which they smashed
great
the
success.
numbers on.
Yeah, great success.
But I mean, Rob had to put a tweet up apologizing to people that couldn't get in. Because basically he had Simon Trumper dealing at one point and everything trying to do it. So so they are ramping up, and let's remember that the APAT weekend coming up in a few weeks' time will be bigger.
Oh, it'll be even bigger
numbers wise than what they've just done with what they've just done for the Grand Prix in the way of runners at Dusk Till Dawn on the same day. So we are going to be a real kind of next step up for Dusk Till Dawn on what they're doing since they've done their slow, their kind of soft reopening since before Christmas. So looking forward to it.
Simon Trumper will be valeting. He'll be dropping off your drinks and your sandwiches to wherever it is you eat that stuff. Guys, if you're not in a team and if you're not fortunate enough within the next 2 weeks to get into a team, come anyway. There's a bunch of side events going on. Leigh's mentioned, how good the atmosphere was at a sold-out DTD this weekend. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in 2 weeks' time? APAT's back. It's going to be huge. So come meet everybody. The bar's going to be absolutely banging. There'll be loads of sides events. You can get into those early, right, Leigh? You can lock up some.
I was going to say
right?
the Friday night. Now, let me explain about the Friday night. So it's an APAT special bounty hunter on the Friday night, and it does have a cap on it. So you need to be aware of that. Now, 2 years ago, which was the last live event we did before COVID hit, was at Dusk Till Dawn for the team event. Now, I don't know whether you were there on the Friday night, Des, to remember it, but they were queuing out the door. And there was a lot of the local players, the regular players there, kind of going, "What the hell's going on here? What's happening?" Because that's what happens when APAT comes to town. And
that's what we do.
Yeah, and so the reality of it is, if you want to get into the Friday, that didn't have a cap 2 years ago. They were finding tables. Obviously, there is a cap on this one. If you want to get in advance, when the advance, which will open, I think the week before the event, best thing to do I could recommend now is go and get yourself a Lux on Pay account set up. Really straightforward to do. They've got a fantastic customer service team as well. If you do have any, I had a little glitchy problem because Party Poker has got my middle name on my account, and so they sorted that for me, no problem whatsoever. And it's basically a payment platform. And what you'll be able to do then is deposit with them and then transfer direct to the Dusk Till Dawn cash desk with the tournament that you want to play, and that will get you in and registered for it in advance. So it's well worth doing.
Yeah, for any of you guys who don't know Lux and Pay, obviously it's unusual for us to put our side events on sale early through a payment provider. We don't typically do that. We don't have any partnership with Luxon or anything like that. But it's a Dusk Till Dawn product effectively. So Rob runs this product, with Nick Whitten and the team there. So, we trust these guys. They're doing business with Party Poker and with other operators. So it may turn out to be a really good payment processing option as it evolves over time. So we're happy to support them in trying to grow that. And if it provides a really good option for you guys to get into side events early, that's a bit of a win-win as far as we're concerned.
Well, I don't know whether you caught the show last week. It was
did.
probably the best show we've
It was
ever
an
done.
amazing
If I'm
show.
honest. Amazing show last week.
I
Really
said to
was.
Sean this evening, right? I'm sat on the seat out there about 10 minutes before I come into the office to start my prep for this, and I said, "Oh, this is so much worse than last week. Last week I only had to sit on the seat and watch it. It was amazing."
But one of the things that so Paul Haycock was on last week, and one of the things he mentioned, he went over and played the IPO before Christmas and didn't have a very good tournament, but had a good cash success. And because the IPO was partnered with Lux and Pay, he'd won a lot of euros. He won't brag too much about how much, but he had a decent chunk of euros. And he just went to the cash desk there, paid them in, and asked for it to be put into his Lux and Pay account. So he wasn't worried about carrying a load of cash or anything like that. So it's great. And I know that there is a similar type of thing that's now working in Vegas especially during World Series of Poker, where you can do these things in advance on an app and then just go to the machine and it spits out your table drawer and all this kind of, I mean, yeah, it's the way things are going to go. And I think if Rob and the guys can get Lux and Pay at the forefront of a lot of the bigger poker tournaments like APAT in the UK, then that's only going to be good. So well worth it.
Absolutely.
Well
Listen, some comments coming in from the chat box. Jamie Lackenby, of course. We like Jamie, right? Coldstream PKO for the win. No, my friend. The APAT Show for the win. Right, I think we've got a call for the APAT Show, Leigh. We have our very own team in there. Were you picked?
I didn't make it. No, I didn't make the cut.
I didn't make it either.
No.
Didn't make it either. Very disappointing. I hope they lose early. That's what I hope the APAT Show team does. They lose early. Stu is out there. Our very good friend Stu. Evening, guys. Evening to you, Mr. Ward, sir. Tony. Now, Tony's got a good question here. He's saying, so are you saying we can load Luxon from our party account?
Right. So yeah, Luxon is a payment option on Party Poker, and it's a two-way thing. So you can deposit and withdraw. So yes, you can technically withdraw funds from Party Poker onto your Luxon Pay account, and then arguably you could then transfer those funds to the Dusk of Dawn cashier. The only thing I would say on that, and again, it obviously gets complicated when you start dealing with financial transactions or whatever. I don't know what the rules are about whether you need to have deposited first or do what. Yeah, sometimes when you deposit or you want to withdraw onto a card, and you can only withdraw on a card once you've made a deposit on that card. So I'm not quite sure the technical side of exactly whether you've got to do something first, but ultimately, yes, you can withdraw from your Party Pay poker account into your Luxon account once it's all linked and set up. And they need to obviously verify you as well. So, but there's it's super slick because you can do a lot of the verification on the app where you just take a scan of some of your ID, and then you take a selfie of yourself, and it does a little bit of clever confirming that it believes it's you, and if not, they'll double check in the background, and then you just need to provide if you want to up your limits, you just need to provide a recent bill or bank statement or something like that they can just confirm that you're saying all the standard stuff that you do these days to prove.
So listen, I think I understand a little bit more about Luxon now, Leigh. But what is this? What did you call it? Withdrawing? What?
Oh, right. So
withdrawing?
When you obviously, I'll talk directly to Tony here because Tony and I are so it's when you've got good poker players, Des, that that win money. That what happens is they end up with more money in their Party Poker account than they did to start with. It's a rarity. It doesn't happen very often, but I certainly will say Tony, from what I've seen in recent times, is very much in that category. So
I have actually heard of it. Now that you mention it, I've heard of withdrawing. It's not a problem I've had myself as a player in the past. Barry Cullen is out there saying, evening, guys. Evening to you, Baza, sir. The captain, right, Carl Pilgrim, is in the house. He says, good evening, gents. And he then offers up a Chesger for the win. And you got to admit, there's going to be a lot of people calling for Chesger this year, of all years, to do well. I'm sure there will. Stu comes back with, all about Chesger this year. As much I would have loved to play for the APAT Show or raise for Jack, never felt so wanted. Well, it's a shame in the year that they wanted to break that duck and win the tournament that they've actually gone for Stu Ward. I mean, the irony.
Yeah, it really is. I know, but I know they'll. There's if you look at the Chesger team for for this year. There'll be a lot of drinks had, a lot of memories recalled, and a lot of good times, I think,
Good times.
across that weekend.
There'll,
Definitely.
there'll be new good times and many new memories created, which is important. Now, Carl is there. Carl raised an interesting question in the group. I'm not sure we have the answer to this. I have tagged Glenn from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, who is going to be very busy this weekend with
Of course
because
he is.
the Grand Prix is playing out, but we will get an answer to the question.
Yeah. What do we think is going to happen here, realistically? So it seems that the question was, are masks going to be worn at Dusk Till Dawn? So obviously, as we've said all along, it'll be down to UK guidelines, venue guidelines, what have you. But apparently, there haven't been very many masks at all at the Grand Prix this weekend. I mean, do we have any insight into this?
We do, only just from a bit of kind of common sense, really, which I know will bore people. I think somebody had a go at me on Facebook the other day for being Mr. Sensible or something. I think it was. I can't remember what it was over, but anyway, that's by the by. So obviously, the rules are changing in the next week or so as to what you can and can't do. And the reality of it is that if this weekend that's just gone, if Dusk Till Dawn were enforcing mask wearing, they would have enforced mask wearing, and they haven't. And the rules are only going to get looser in what you wear and where you need to wear a mask and what you need to do. I don't therefore see Dusk Till Dawn enforcing mask wearing at the APAT event in 3 weeks' time, unless something dramatically changes with legislation and what the rules are in from the UK government. So I don't see that being the case. However, that's not to stop anybody that would prefer to wear a mask from wearing a mask. And I would hope that everybody that's at Dusk Till Dawn anytime, but even more so for an APAT event, will respect whatever anybody chooses to do, and that's okay, because it should be okay. It's as simple as that. So, but I certainly don't see any reason why they are going to enforce mask wearing at the APAT event, because they haven't done at the Grand Prix that's just gone, and there's nothing, and there's not going to be any legislation that's going to change that at the moment.
Yeah. I still wear masks when I go into shops and stuff. Don't care. Don't care. That's a very much a personal thing.
I will be continuing to do that. I mean, I'm not, I haven't decided what I'm going to do at Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, but certainly, I would, if I'm going into the supermarket and stuff like that, I still just pop a mask on, because I just think it's considerate for the people that are working there and everybody else, and right thing to do. But and it's protecting myself.
I had the situation 3 or 4 weeks ago when I went to a match at Anfield and wore a mask. Which is totally fine. You're sat with thousands of football fans. Absolutely nobody batted an eyelid. Plenty of them were wearing masks. Plenty of them were not wearing masks, but nobody batted an eyelid. And then I went to one last weekend where I chose not to wear a mask because I was very much in the singing section. So I thought that was going to be challenging to do it. So personal choice, guys. So
and the most important thing, and I will reiterate it, although I shouldn't ever need to, but we live in a world where that isn't always the case these days. Is the most important thing is to respect whatever anybody else's decision is. And that's that, whether you're wearing one and they're not, or you're not, they are, or whatever the situation is. Just a bit of respect for everybody will make the whole world a better place. So.
Yeah, I think it's also fair to say, and we've done this in small ways in the past, but if we ever had experience of any APAT member being put under undue pressure for any reason, really, but anything like this in particular, then we would come down seriously hard on that. So Stu has responded back to me. He said, "Truth hurts," Des with a sad face. Of course, Stu is an APAT champion, so I was, of course, joking. Stu's a very good player. Tomo's there.
And you said that with a straight face. That's brilliant.
I got that away. I thought that
was really good. That was, very good.
Thank you. Yeah. Tomo is there. Good evening, guys. May have already been asked, but when can we buy in for the Friday night and the other events? And if we don't play, do we get the buy-in back? Oh, that's a good question. We've just discussed that, haven't we? We just spent the first 10 minutes.
So as far as I'm aware at the moment, with weekly events, Dusk Till Dawn open them because this isn't just something they're just doing for APAT APAT weekend, they've been doing Lux on Pay to pay in advance for all of their weekly tournaments. So I believe they open them up, from the Monday for the following week. Because at the moment, I think Dust to Dawn isn't open on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. So they they open it up then for the basically the weekend coming. Obviously, we're very aware that we're going to have a situation whereby you could potentially be in another tournament on a Saturday night and a Sunday if you're still in the main. So those are the two where there'd be an issue. Obviously, for the Friday night, shouldn't be an issue at all, unless you're still playing the Thursday night comp, in which case, wow, what are you doing? So yeah, you should be good from that point of view. So, but yeah, ultimately, if you do buy in on the Saturday night and you're still in the main event, Des is going to have a great night at the bar. That's what's going to happen.
Can't make it. What night is that, Leigh?
Yeah,
what night is that?
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday night? Yeah, I can't make any of those nights.
No, so they would just refund you your money because obviously you can't multi-table at Dust Till Dawn, so that's one of their rules. So obviously that's going to be that'll be the case.
Bit of banter going off in the chat box, as you might expect on this point, Leigh. Stewie, of course, came in and said, plain Friday, plain poker on an APAT Friday. Can't do that from the bar. So he's just followed in directly on what you've said. Tris said, he does normally play. It just looks like he spends time at the bar. I understand that, Stu. Just asking, says Tomo. So Carla said he is going to be wearing a mask for sure. Good man. Leigh, do we have any APAT branded masks? Why haven't we got APAT branded masks? I'm thinking like $19.99 a pop.
Hang on a minute. I can. Yeah, no, that's not a problem. Simon Lawler says that he's going to send me across his Betfair T-shirt, and I can cut it up. Yeah, and we'll have a bunch of masks. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I'm fine.
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Will the tables at the team event be 10-handed? Asks the very same Simon Lawler.
I believe 8-handed has been agreed. But I have asked for confirmation on that before I confirm the seat draw. So
couldn't we get them up to like 12 or 13-handed? Yeah, I know there's a pandemic, but just get more people in, Leigh. Get more people in.
But yeah, my understanding was they'd originally agreed 8-handed, but I think what they were looking at was going to see on the back of the Grand Prix weekend is just exactly what worked and what didn't, and if they feel comfortable that they can go 9-handed or 10-handed, and that ultimately it's this balance, isn't it? Is I think they've been running 8-handed as standard at Dust Till Dawn for a little while before lockdown. But that's what's been provisionally agreed. But I'm not saying that that's not going to change in the next couple of weeks. Hence the reason for we're holding off on putting the seat drawer, because I know Asa was on Twitter today asking about that, and Triplin was having a comment on it as well. So
fantastic. Yeah. Well, listen, Simon is saying the buy-in is from the 7th of Feb onwards. Is he talking about the side events there, Leigh? What's he talking about? That
would feel right. Yeah, that'd be the side of which should be the Monday, I think, if I'm right. That's which
How
is
does
the
he
Monday
know
before.
this stuff? What else does he know, Leigh? What else does Simon Lawler know?
Simon knows more than we could probably ever admit to. Simon knows a lot of what goes on in the world in general.
Tris says, if you can just leave the red APAT 50s with me on the Saturday, please, Des, I will make sure they get spent wisely. What's a red 50, Leigh? I haven't seen one of them in a long, long time.
What I should say about the seat draw, if anybody would rather I just allocate them a seat at the bar.
A red 50.
And if it's easier, if you'd rather if I can happily just create a list of, they bought in, but they're at the bar. Yeah, it's not a problem. We can arrange that. So.
We'll live update from the bar, Leigh. I think we'll leave the poker and just do a typical APAT Show live update over the weekend. Just do it straight from the bar. As long as I can have forgotten my wallet, everything will be fine. Listen, there's a little bit of football related banter going on now, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to leave that for the moment. Outrageous. We'll come on to that, I'm sure. Shall we get a poker table up?
Well, I was going to say, if we hang fire, we're down to 10, so we're one away from a final table. So in fact, actually, that might be. We might. Well, actually, no. I was going to say that might have been it there. No, it isn't. No, it's hand for hand, but it's going to be very close because actually, I've got to get the player's name right. I think it's Alexander has just lost a heavy pot there to Mia Pinter. So Alexander is now down to one big. So to be honest, you can bring that table up because I would imagine Alexander's going to be in very next hand on the button, maybe. Although there's an all-in a call on the other table, and that's been chopped. So
okay, so still going. Well, let me ask you a question then, Leigh. What about this? Do we have, sir, an APAT Championship shortly?
Yes,
Or
we
are we
do.
holding
Yes.
that off because
No,
of
no.
the
We
UKT?
will have one. Now it's either I've still got to get this confirmed from Party because they've been super busy, obviously, with everything that's been going on the past few weeks, as to whether it's going to be this weekend coming, which would be the last weekend of January, or we're going to roll it into just the first weekend of February, which would be the weekend before the team event. But the plan is very much that we will have a championship weekend before we get to the team event. So that is the plan. And Alexander is all in, actually. He is all in, which means he's going to definitely get called because he's got less than a big blind. So we'll see this one now. And it's been called by Emil in the small blind as well. And Mia's, oh, wow, that's protection whatsoever. Queen 10 against Ace King. It's the Ace King at risk. And an ace on the river gives us a Broadway for Mia, and that will that means we'll bring up a final table. So you can leave the table up there, and I'll
fantastic.
As soon as I've got a final table up.
While you're popping it up, Leigh, let me just read a little more of what's happening out here. There's a lot of banter tonight, right? They're all in tonight because they're all excited. We're all going to be meeting up soon. They're all excited. They're out chatting. So Simon says, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. It is indeed. And you're the man, Simon, I will turn to if I need to know what the hell is going on. I should probably have gone to you about 2 years ago before all of this shit kicked off. But there you go. Carl comes in with a rather unsporting, hey, Tomo, you sporting a 70s porno tash, mate? I haven't seen the picture,
Wow.
but I feel like I should see that. Tomo responds with, only for your wife, the lovely Emma. How can he say such a rude thing?
Outrageous.
Carl says, you spoil her, mate. Oh, I tell you, those two are cut from the same tree. Fantastic.
Excellent. So final table is up, Des. So
let's get it. There we go. Let's talk us through who we've got, Leigh.
Let me just quickly type in one more exit, and then I'll be good to go. Excellent. So chip leader going into this final table is Ying Zhang.
Bloody hell, Leigh, it's a bit like Chester Zoo. What the hell has happened in Party Poker that I've missed?
Oh, it's gone very the avatars have gone very animal related, I think is the best way to describe it. So Yin's from Luxembourg, Miel Macon is second in chips from Belgium, Peter Taborski from the Czech Republic, then we've got Mia Pinter from Slovakia, I think it is. Slovenia, sorry. Martin Mulso, regular player from Austria. Harold Thorberger from Canada. Ray Chan, who's a very regular APAT player. See Ray playing a lot from Canada. Joe Dunlop from the UK. And the short stack is David Hefner from Sweden. Prizes, well, these guys now are all guaranteed just shy of $100, as we've got an all-in the call already there.
Here we go.
Martin's 8. It's the Joseph Dunlop's Ace King at risk. He's hit his ace, though. And another one for good measure. And top 3 prizes tonight: $365 for third, $530 for second, and a whopping $818 up top tonight, Des. Well, very nice indeed.
Let me tell you, Leigh, we've got one of the finalists at least in the chat box. Joe Dunlop is a Coldstream PKO player. Okay, and what a great name, right? I just hope he's Joey Dunlop and that he drives a really fast motorbike in honor of the legend, of course. So we'll keep an eye on Joe as the evening goes on, as Jamie is doing. Leigh, disable those animals. What the hell?
You can't disable the actual animals themselves. No.
Really? No. You can't disable avatars?
That's the new avatars. No, I think that's the new avatars. They and I'm pretty sure they I don't think
you can't turn them off.
Don't think you can turn avatars off. No.
Holy God.
Unless somebody wants to tell me different, but I'm pretty sure avatars are on.
Oh, Yin is all in here. There's 1.5 mil putting the pressure on David. David with 105k in. He's only got 57k back. He's got a call, surely. He must be left with a bag of spanners here, Leigh.
Yeah, because I think, funnily enough, there was a chat this week. We'll just watch this hand play out before I talk about that. 9s have hit. So unless it's a heart, which it wasn't, and Yin's going to be that, and we're going to lose David Hefner. So yeah, there was a good thread on the Party Poker UK community chat this week where the question was asked. suggest things that you'd like to see happen, and but put it in a kind of, I'd like this to happen because that would happen when I do this, or so
Yeah,
just to try
yeah, yeah.
and one
Constructive,
of the
right?
questions was, somebody said, well, I would really love a slimmed down table that didn't
Yeah,
have all of
yeah,
these graphics and things on it, because it's
yeah.
they find it quite off-putting, but yeah.
I mean, I like the Sport Party Poker, but that just, yeah, it just seems odd that you can't turn that, those avatars off. I mean, quite nice just to have name tags there. But alas, it is what it is. I did see Dan Austin was in the chat as well, Leigh. He was talking about the bar. I think bar, please. It was something like that. There we
Yeah,
go.
he'd like
Bar,
a seat he'd like a seat at the bar. We can arrange that.
straight
So
in.
I can do that on the seat drawer. That's not a problem whatsoever. So yeah. It might be that because I'm not actually logged in to party at the moment. I'm just viewing. So that could be the reason. That could be potentially the reason why. Because Simon, all knowing Simon, all knowing Lawler suggests that you can disable them. They are very odd. So
yeah, oh, they are. Listen, he's putting a little bit of extra pressure on Joe here. He said Joe needs a top 3 finish to keep his place in the team event. No pressure, buddy.
Ow! They're still dropping people from the team event. Goodness me!
Dan wants all the seats. He wants all the seats at the bar. He's going to back bet behind every seat like an absolutely rampant blackjack player.
I was going to say like a blackjack pro.
Yeah, straight in there. Oh, Leigh, I saw one of those slot streamers.
Did you?
Oh, he was an absolute degen of the highest order. I hadn't seen this guy before, and he suddenly popped up. He's got 60,000 people watching. He's on a 3-day bender. He's betting like $250,000.
You're talking train wreck TV, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, absolutely insane. I loved it.
Canadian guy, yeah.
And he's genuine. Oh, you degens! I've been up for 36 hours.
He might not be Canadian. He might be American, but lives in Canada. I think possibly, yeah. But he's insane. He does like 30 hours, 30 hours streams.
But Leigh, he was $1 million down on the session. I mean, he was $1 million down like on the hour of the session, and he decides, oh, fuck it, excuse me, I'm gonna play blackjack. I'm thinking, how's he gonna get that money back playing blackjack? So he goes on an unlimited table blackjack. He takes all 8 seats, all of them. And he's betting like $250,000 a hand, a series of hands, right? Yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, but of course, those guys are all betting on one of the sites that's crypto casino, and of course, Have you seen Bitcoin lately?
Yeah, where is it now?
Taken an absolute.
I mean, I haven't seen the number, but I've seen lots of people just crying.
It was down to about 34,000, I think.
How much?
34.
Down from about 65 earlier on.
It's pretty much it peaked. Yeah, it's pretty much halved in. I think it peaked sometime earlier on the year, but to be fair, it's back to what it was about 12 months ago.
Yeah.
So it peaked to about 60,000 during the year, and has then dropped back down again. I mean, some people must be making an absolute fortune somewhere if they're catching this right.
Well, what do you reckon? Is it time to get in? Should we be advising Tom Brady to put all of the Brady millions into Bitcoin?
Buy the dip? Is it buy the dip? Is that the phrase? Buy the dip. Yes.
I normally buy the rise, Leigh. I buy the rise and then I cry. I cry like a baby.
Yeah. So Stu Ward says, Train lives in Canada, but he's from the US.
Can you still hear me, Leigh? My little image has frozen.
Yeah, no, I can hear you perfectly well.
Yes. I won't worry about the image then. That'll unfreeze, I'm sure.
No one comes on here to look at us. That's okay.
I'm convinced.
They want to know when you're going to start your high roller blackjack games. Now they think that you've teased them with it. So
it's in my mind that if our images were concerning these people, we wouldn't have the 6 viewers that we have. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
exactly, shit! Hold on a second, Leigh. Hold on a second.
Hey, chat. Yeah.
Maybe I missed that. Maybe we should go back to the non-video version of the APAT Show, which, frankly, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah. So we're just to give you an update where we are poker-wise. We're watching the final table of the No Limit Hold'em main event for the week. That's got 8 runners left in that now. The Omaha is down to 3. Richard Mercer is chip leader in that. Konstantin Chersin, a regular player from Russia that plays there, plays all of the Omaha games on APAT all week, every week, pretty much. He's second, and Mark Foster's third. But to be fair, Richard Mercer has 5 times the chips of the other two put together, so that could be over quite quickly. We're down to 13 in the Turbo Knockout as well. That's paying 13, so they've literally just money bubble has burst on that one. So we'll keep an eye on that. Brendan Byrne is still in there. Shug is still going strong. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But obviously our main focus is on who's going to take down the No Limit Hold'em tonight and pick up nearly $820 top prize. Very nice indeed.
Fantastic. Listen, some of the good feeling banter is continuing. Stu is saying that he reckons Dan could take up all of the seats at the bar at once anyway. I don't know what he's trying to say about Dan's lockdown behavior there, but I think he's insulting him there. Stu also says, I love Train. He is hilarious. He lives in Canada, but he's from the US apparently. And Tris with some good common sense here. In my view, time spent on getting a stable platform is more important than avatars, but I don't want to sound too pessimistic. So, I mean, he's right. Of course he's right. I think...
100%. Yeah,
it's like it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer.
I mean, it's very difficult with these things, and we're not making excuses for any site which has these any sort of the problems that they've had. But to be having the kind of sort of catastrophic Sunday nights that some, and it's not just Party, other sites have had as well. It's very damaging for the business. That's a big part, but as Mia had gone all in, I suppose. So it's the 2 chip leaders there on that one. It is frustrating. Actually, all you want is something stable that kind of works. I actually think somewhere along the line, somebody might actually stop and start looking at the online poker and kind of going, well, is actually the best layout and way of doing it? Because it's a kind of online poker has always just replicated like what a poker table looks like, but it never makes any sense to me. And I think with more online poker being played on mobile devices, I think somebody at some point will take a leap and go, actually, do you know what? Showing the information and the flow of each hand in this particular way works better on a mobile device or whatever. Yeah. And I think we might see changes, but at the moment it's still carrying on replicating and chips being moved around a table and everyone's sat around. It's really peculiar.
Well, I guess this is some sort of replica of the real live experience of playing poker, right? It's a table, so visually it's we're comfortable with it. But I'm absolutely sure you're right. I'm absolutely sure you're right.
If nobody knew, if you explained the game of poker to somebody and they'd never seen the live. And you didn't involve the live thing, just said, right, I've got this online game and this is how you play it. And it's a card game and this is how you play it. I'd be gobsmacked if they said, oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put them all around a table. It just wouldn't happen. Be interested to see if somebody ever decides to take that leap of faith and go, well, okay, let's try something a little bit different. And a bit more futuristic. I'm just imagining something like the way they used to play poker in Buck Rogers, and they made it a bit more futuristic and they played with hexagonal chips, and that kind of thing, just to make it interesting.
Leigh, I'm willing to wait 400 years for hexagonal chips if that's the direction you think we're taking. I'm willing to wait 400 years for that. Let's the hell do it. Dan has said my ass has got pretty big. This is the level now that our chat box has reached. Stu said,
but you did see the video. You saw the video that got posted before Christmas, which suggested that Dan that was the case.
No,
so
didn't see that.
Yeah, probably. What trouble is, Des, once you've seen the video,
you can't go back. You can never go back. Never go back. I'm still struggling with. I'm still struggling with Dan in the sort of the old age stroller mobility device in Las Vegas. I'm still struggling with that a little bit, Leigh. That hasn't ever left my brain.
You definitely don't want to see the video that got posted before Christmas then. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. It might be just after Christmas. I'm not sure.
I probably don't want to see that. I'm going to have to go and look at that now. I've wrote that down. Stu did say Des looks like he's been caught mid-poo. I think when my image was frozen. What can I say? I don't quite know what to say to that. The water, Leigh. Does the water ever hit you? Never hits me. I'm very small. Very.
The water?
So, yeah. Mid poo.
You're all good. Just all in the call.
Oh, hello.
Ray is at risk, and Jack and a Jack for
Jack's
Mia,
gonna
and we're
take
going to
it.
lose Ray. We're going to lose Ray Chan, unfortunately.
Now, an intelligent question. Tony is asking, can you tell me, he's looking for favors here, I reckon, Leigh, where Brendan needs to finish in the turbo to beat me, please? I don't think we can tell him that.
So I'm just looking now, and as far well, I can, because we can give that sort of information out. So from what I can tell, so yeah, you're all done for the night, Tony, and there's just the only thing Brendan's got left is that. So Brendan is currently approximately 52 points behind you. So let's go and have a look at the turbo points. So Brendan is going to need a top 3 finish to get ahead of you, because third place will give him 53.23 points, which will be enough to get ahead of you. So that's what Brendan needs, and I know Brendan will be out there listening in, so he now knows exactly. I think Brendan will have already known that, because he's very good at keeping his own tally of points, so he will already know that. But yeah, third place finish for Brendan, and he's currently 5th of the 11 players remaining. Wow. So
what odds are we giving Brendan on achieving that feat, given that he now has the information that he needs?
Third, so we need a top 3 finish with 11 runners left, and he's currently 5th.
Reasonable.
I'm not going too crazy with that. I'm saying maybe is that like a I don't know,
I'm not
2 to 1.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I could put
3 to 1, something like that.
I'd probably say that's a reasonable shout.
Yeah,
he could probably make that.
I wouldn't say somewhere around 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 of him to do that. It seems maybe 2 to 1, yeah, something like that. I wouldn't know. I've never priced anything up, so I wouldn't really have a clue. But that doesn't feel. If somebody offered me that, that doesn't feel unreasonable.
Yeah, listen, Dan's out there, Leigh, as I said. He said, ironically, that's the very reason I've stopped playing. At party, the constant instability, which has gone on for too long. I think we'd all agree with that, and I'm sure the party guys would agree with that too. They're clearly in a very challenging position to get this right. But to
be honest, there's. If I'm honest, there's actually, I mean, Dan will understand this. There's nothing wrong with the software at all.
Yeah,
it actually runs perfectly smooth all of the time. However, they do this on purpose because they're worried that Dylan would have nothing to talk about. So they basically, to ensure that Dylan Herbert carries on posting on social media, they just throw a few little spanners in the work every once in a while, just to give him something to talk about. So that's the only reason they do it. Otherwise, it's the best software going. It really is.
That could be that could well be it. Dan is saying, can I get a pint on it at 2 to 1, please, Leigh? But Brendan has come back and he's actually said it's going to be tough. He said, but if I could just run like Tony Ross, maybe it's doable. And Stu asks, is there a live stream this year for the team event? That's a great idea, Leigh. Why don't we put on a live stream?
A live stream? What like, as in like us live from the venue?
Look, I wanted like the World Poker Tour. I want a final table with, with all of the cameras and the lights and Tighty and you in the commentary box. That's what I want to see. Make it so.
Yeah, we've got the budget for that, haven't we? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot about the budget. Damn.
Yeah.
We'll probably do some videos, Stu. We will probably do some live streaming, but it'll be very top level, atmospheric, walking through the tables, talking to some people. It'll be that sort of stuff. I think what we won't do this time is, just show a table.
I think the reality, especially with the team event, it's that it doesn't really kind of lend itself to the team event. There's so much more going on. So we'll look to do that. What we then do going forward for any other events that we may choose to hold this year, if we do, fingers crossed, that as what we're going to do. But I think the reality for us is we're very aware that we simply can't do a kind of a card shown final table or even feature table, anything like any as well as anybody else can do it, and it's really not worth us trying to do that, whereas we feel we can probably do a lot more with other content and give players the chance to have a bit of a shout out and a chat with them and get to know the players in the community and that kind of thing, which I think there'll be a lot more we can do. So.
One of the problems that we always suffer from, Stu, is that ironically, the majority of the players that would ever watch a stream like that are at the event and they can't watch it. And of course, they'll never go back and watch it afterwards. So it's a betwixt type thing, really. So we'll come up with something a little bit different. We've done some creative things in the past that I think have proved popular, but it'd be nice to have something that people could come away from the event and maybe watch a little package of something. We will see.
Odds are shortening, Des. Odds are shortening.
How many are left?
Brendan is now up to third of 8 players remaining.
Third of 8. I'm liking his chances here.
Yeah, I think that 2 to 1 has definitely shortened. That's for sure.
Stu was asking, and fair play to him, just asking for when I bust after an hour. So what he's actually doing there is offering some help, and that is always welcomed. And, if you do find yourself with some time in your hands, Stu, I have no doubt we will involve you in some stream/video things that we're thinking about.
Absolute huge turnaround in the PLO. So Richard Mercer, I mentioned earlier on, had 5 times the chips of the other 2 remaining players. He had over $1 million in chips, and the other 2 had about 100,000 each. So Mark Foster went out in third, but then heads up, and Konstantin Chersin from Russia has turned it around and taken it down. So he's picked up $382 for first place, and Richard Mercer has had to settle for $234 for second place. So yeah, huge turnaround. Obviously, didn't have a table open to see what exactly went on there, but just seen the result nice, come in. So
nice work,
very well done.
Regular APATer. Dan wants to know: did he get his bet accepted or not, Leigh? I mean, what's going on there? You just sort of slightly slow on the comeback.
So what? So I offered 2 to what? Was he betting a pint at 2 to 1?
A pint at 2 to 1.
Yeah. I'll still, even though it's not looking in my favour here, I'll take the 2 to 1. So I'm just trying to think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll do a pint at 2 to 1. That's fair.
There you go. You heard it here first, guys. This is live gambling. We're just like the train wreck guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're now in that category, Leigh. We've evolved. We've leveled up.
Hello. I don't.
There's a 3-way all in here.
Wow. Ace King versus King 9. It's King 9's got the other 2 covered. And what a run out for the King 9. Goodness me. Double bust out. Mia Pinto. What a run out. That is insane.
Wow.
King 9 goes into that hand way behind, and certainly on the flop was in a horrible spot against the Ace King.
I can dodge bullets, baby.
Yeah, but gets there. Wowzers. Yeah. So the train wreck guy, careful what you say, because he's got so many followers and whatever, the ability to cause you all sorts of trouble online. I find him quite negative to watch of a lot of the slot streamers and that kind of thing. I don't find him like positively entertaining. He's entertaining. That's his style. That's his thing.
He absolutely advertises himself as Degens TV, right? It's for Degens. Yeah. So he's going to abuse you. If you're out there, he's going to abuse you.
Yeah. So I tend to very rarely will I ever watch him, because I just find I don't find it that positive or that from an entertainment point of view. So. That's ultimately what those streams are. Anyone that thinks they're anything else, it's entertainment. Yeah, that's what it is.
I agree. It's an interesting response to that run out that we just saw there, Leigh. Stu says, WTF is that river? Simon says, effing hell. Carl says, dirty run out. So yeah, they are occasionally interested in the poker, Leigh. I thought they only came here for us.
They're all building up, aren't they? They're all getting back to it, so they're ready to getting back to look at that dirty run out. Yeah, you've never been called a dirty run out in your life, Des, have you?
I've never ever.
So we're down to 5 now in this, just to give you an idea where we're at. It's $195 now guaranteed for these 5. I mentioned before 818 up top. PLO's now finished. Deep Stacks also was done a long time ago. Tony Ross bagged a stack of points there and is currently sat top of the leaderboard, but is being chased down by one Brendan Byrne, who is now 3rd of 7 left in the turbo knockout. So he's going for it. But so we'll keep an eye on this one at the moment, because we've got Joe Dunlop still with chips, who I know is in the chat. So
Listen, I would not bet against the Burninator, or I'll get me coat.
Yeah, yeah. Burninator. Wow. Goodness me. It's,
I'll be back.
Well, yeah, we're all supporting. I mean, obviously, Brendan's one of us, Des. He's one of us.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. How many tickets does he have? How many? What's Brendan's status in all of this thing? What level is he on?
He's an APAT Show team player, isn't he? So,
yeah, but what level's he on? What level's he on?
Oh, Brendan is.
I go strictly by finances here.
Brendan will be level 5. He's a step 5.
Sweet Jesus! Isn't there anybody else that can save us, Leigh? Anybody else?
The trouble
Maybe
is, Tony
Party
Ross
Poker will go down.
Tony Ross is a step 5er as well, and the person that was leading the leaderboard going into tonight was Gordon, and Gordon's become a very expensive date these days. Used to be a cheap date, Gordon. We were on a winner there, but he's got himself up to a step 5 as well. I think they're the only. I think actually Constantine Cherson as well.
Brendan is calling out Constantine. He said he's probably a bigger worry for Tony.
He's a step 5 as well, but Constantine's points. He's only had 3 cashes this week, but it's put him up on 135 points. So he's going to be. But you know what? 135 points this week is not going to get him in the top 5. He's not going to get double tickets this week.
Right.
It's not going to be enough.
Leigh, do you have Dylan Herbert's direct line? Just give him a call there during the break and ask him for that Party Poker director's first name, and we'll try and get this whole thing taken down so that we can save on the expense.
Yes, in saying that, I've just noticed Constantine's he's second in chips in the turbo knockout as well. That's why the guys are saying he's a bit more of a worry. I still think he's going to need. Let's see what Constantine would need to catch Tony. Tony could have a double sweat on here. Let's have a look.
Oh, bloody hell. As Stu said, the last time Des ran, it was when somebody asked him to get the beers in. Jesus Christ, man. The abuse I get.
Constantine would need to win the turbo knockout to go ahead of Tony. But ultimately, that might not be enough if Brendan finished second or something like that. Yeah. So there's a few combinations of there where potentially that still might not be enough, but it would overtake Tony as well. So yeah, Tony's got to keep an eye on both of them, but they're down to 7 at the moment. We're 5 to the hour actually. So everyone's on a break now. So
fantastic.
What I actually will do is I will very quickly bring up the other table as well, because they're the only 2 tournaments we've got left going here. So I can then actually flick between the 2. So if we see anything exciting going on, so what we've got happening, then we've got the No Limit Hold'em that we're currently watching, and then we've also got the turbo knockout as well.
Fantastic.
So they're the 2 we've got going.
Well, Mr. Dunlop is out there and he's really enjoying himself. So really good final table, sat in for $3. So happy whatever the result.
Oh, splendid. So phased in.
That's good, right? That's good. He doesn't realise his team spot in Nottingham is still up for grabs. He hasn't, just grabbed the gravity of that particular situation. And Tony says it still amazes me how often a week-long league goes down to the wire and can be won by, a fraction of points. We've been seeing this for 2 years, Leigh.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, and it still amazes me. You guys that win, win tickets on a regular basis from us. I mean, it's great. First of all, it's great. There's nothing we like more. We joke. We absolutely love it. We joke about it, but we actually, there's nothing we like more than being and anyone that's new to APAT or has not played with us much and doesn't realize this, but we give away over 100 tickets every month back to players, and they can range from anything from a $5.50 to a $55 ticket, and that's every month without fail. We've been doing that month after month after month after month during lockdown, and we'll now continue doing that. So, and to get into some of these, sometimes you only need to have a couple of cashes in the week, and there's 16 tournaments that we run during the week in total, and you only need to have a couple of cashes and you can get yourself on the leaderboard and work your way up the steps. It's not difficult to do, but it amazes me the guys that do actually week in, week out do that, because it's, to give you an idea, just this week alone, before tonight's tournaments, we have had scrolling down 120 different players have cashed in an APAT event this week.
And that's cashed, right? 10%
that's
of the
cashed.
Field,
that's cashed. So, for these guys that have built themselves up to a step 5 and are now, picking up some tickets, and the likes of Gordon and Eddie and Tony and Brendan,
they're doing bloody well.
To be staying up there, and these are good fields. These aren't easy fields to beat.
So what you've said there, we've added value for the last 2 years. Obviously, we've been doing that since day one.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think, and we haven't announced this yet, but I think we'll be adding some chunky value to live events when, eventually we announce a full season schedule. A little bit different this year because nobody knows quite the hell what they're doing from a casino point of view. But, should be some interesting news to follow there too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the plan. And as soon as we can get a schedule out to you guys, we're as you can imagine, trying to do some conversations with venues is not the easiest thing at the moment, as things are opening up and people are wanting to do this and not. And hey, it's been 2 years where, I mean, the biggest issue for venues, and as Rob alluded to with his tweet the other day, is dealers. Is the number of finding the dealers to actually put on events at the moment. As we got all in the court, it's Ace Jack versus Ace Deuce. Meals at risk and has hit a deuce, but it's going to get chopped. So the 3 on the river makes us straight for both, and it gets chopped. But yeah, that's the toughest thing at the moment. So, but we're looking to do that as soon as we can get a live schedule together. We want to try and get it all out in one hit for you guys, so you know what's going on and you can start making some plans. But it's going to be. The idea is it'll be predominantly UK based, but with a number of the regular trips that you guys know that we always put on when we're not in a kind of a COVID lockdown. So looking forward to it. Cannot wait to get that out there for you guys to see what's going on. And we are just adding value. It genuinely does surprise me. So sometimes, I get questions all the time from people saying, well, how much of the your weekly league, well, how much of the prize pool do you retain? It's like, well, none of it.
What? We don't retain any of the money, Leigh?
No, we don't retain any of the money. And I know that's not the case in other, there's other poker leagues and groups and other stuff that goes on, but we never have done, and we never will. So basically every single tournament, APAT tournament every week, gets fully paid out. We have guarantees on them all. So if it doesn't hit the guarantee, then the guarantee gets paid out, and that's as simple as that. And then if you're in the leaderboard at the end of the week, in the top 20, you'll get an added value ticket. Top 5, you get double tickets. If you win it, you get triple tickets, depending on what step you're on. So we're just we are giving back to the players, and we'll continue to do that and continue to work with Party Poker to make that happen.
Oh, I tell you, Leigh, I can't believe we're not taking any of the prize pool. I mean, what? But I did one of those podcasty things, a bit like this, I guess. I pre-recorded it yesterday. You know which one it was, or on Friday, rather.
I do.
And I was so excited talking about APAT. They wanted to talk about APAT. I was so excited. The guy said to me up front, he said, we'll I can take anything out, or we can stop at a point and we can redo bits, and we can do all of that sort of stuff. I said, don't worry about that. We'll be doing it all in one take. And we did. But the thing was, I just spoke for the whole thing. I mean, he's going to have a hell of a job to edit out half of the stuff because I was so excited to talk about it. Still a little baby that we love, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But you are like that. You did I don't know if anyone's seen it, but then we did a piece for, or Des edited together a bit, which we did when we were promoting the Seat Wide Open show that we've done. And we'd recorded, we, the two of us had recorded about 2 or 3 of these with a guest, a different guest each week.
Multiple guests.
So Des said, I'm just going to put together about a minute's worth of teaser or whatever. It was all him, the whole thing.
I tell you, I thought my stuff was really good.
I had to check I actually was on the show. It was ridiculous.
I thought to myself, kid, you're really good. It's true.
Oh, dear.
I think we did that little promo, though, after one show, though. Leigh, in fairness.
It was only one show. It was one show.
But I was good. I was very good. I'm looking at myself, not believing how good I was.
Yeah. So Stu's mentioned in the chat, said APAT Tallinn, APAT Vegas. Well, I certainly don't think we'll be an APAT Tallinn. I mean, whether it's an APAT Vegas, I don't know, but I certainly know that there's going to be a lot of people planning on going to Vegas in the summer. Me being one of those. Very much keeping an eye on flights and bits and pieces at the moment, because I'm just going to crack an. Oh wow, huge hand on the other table. I'm going to have to switch over, Des.
Go for it.
It's a three-way all in. Kings versus Jacks versus nines. The nines hit, the Jacks hit. Oh, look at that. And it's going to be only one bust. It's Brendan Garrett has busted in 7th.
Brendan's gone with the Kings, Leigh.
But the Kings bust, best hand going into that, and ended up in 3rd place. So they're now down to 6, and Brendan Burn you'll see on that table there is currently fourth of the 6 remaining, but he's got 3 there that have got over 1 million in chips now, so more than double what he's got. So we'll keep an eye on that. But let me scoot back to the main event tables. We're down to 5 in that as well, but I'll keep an eye. Say it's certainly if either Constantine or Brendan are in a hand there that's a biggie, I'll try and skip across so we can keep an eye on those, because I know Tony will. I'm sure Tony's got that table open at home.
He's probably
sure
got the
he
table.
Yeah.
He's probably picking that up on an illegal stream from the internet, Leigh. What do you think?
Yeah, well,
he's on like
probably,
pokerstreams.com or something.
Yeah. So Stu Ward says,
again, Leigh.
Oh, and it's King Jack versus Jacks, and it's the King Jack that's going to be at risk, and has had club options on the river there, as well as a straight draw, which would have got for both of them, but it doesn't work. So we're down to 4 in this one. So yeah, Stu says in the chat. So Vegas, June, do it. The week of the 13th. Does it sound good? It's like, well, funnily enough, I think that's sort of the time we're thinking about going. We're thinking of going late June into July, and maybe be there for the main event, just to experience that kind of going off, because previously we've always gone sort of late May into June. So we're thinking of maybe trying a little bit later this year.
I received a message yesterday inviting me to a wedding in Cyprus on, I think it was June the 4th, Leigh. And I mentioned it to Sean earlier on this morning. I said, hey, do you fancy Cyprus on June the 4th for a wedding? Now, she gave me a bit of a dirty look. I'm still trying to decode the whole thing, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure we're going to make the wedding. Maybe Vegas.
Did you see Rob posted up? Is there a new casino in Cyprus that's doing poker as well? Yeah. So there's a few things I saw today. Did you see that the Bonington hotel where the IPO's been held, and APAT has held events there for a good while now? It's just, we've got another all in the call. It's the Jacks that are at risk here. Need to avoid an ace. And Meal does. Yes, they've opened a card room at the Bonington, a permanent card room.
Oh, that's good.
So it's calling. I think it's called Dublin. I think it's called the Dublin Card Room. I think they've called it. And,
that's good. Like that.
Yeah.
I see Carl's gone off to bed. So good night to you, Skipper, and look forward to seeing Carl in 2 weeks. A little under 2 weeks now.
We're 3 weeks away, aren't we?
Are we 3? Are we 3?
Yeah, 3 weeks. 3 weeks this weekend. Yeah.
I suppose we are. Yeah, I suppose we are. 3 weeks then.
Yeah, looking forward to so whether we can do anything, whether we do anything APAT over there or not, possibly not. Obviously there's a big change around with the World Series this year. So for anyone that's not picked up on this, the World Series will no longer be at the Rio. So last year was the last year it was at the Rio, and it's moving to Bally's in Paris on the Strip from this year, which is going to be, again, I think it's an exciting. There's part of me that wishes I'd been at the last one at the Rio.
Yeah.
But I never really liked. I've only been to Vegas twice, but I never really liked the Rio very much. Anyway, I found it a bit disappointing. And I'm quite looking forward to the fact that the World Series will be right on the Strip, and
very excitingly.
Yeah, it is exciting times. Yeah,
and I have to say, given that the last one was back in November, very recently, I thought it was a great success. It was fantastic to watch some of the streams and a lot of the main event. I thought that was a real success to be able to follow the main event along. Just super excited that, it'll be on us again before we know it. So that is very pleasing. I think it'll be a real good thing for players that'll be taking place on the Strip.
Yeah. So Brendan says, think about the poor seniors, guys.
What are we
scary thing? The scary thing is I'm starting to get close to thinking you're starting to already working out what you're going to do when I can actually start playing the World Series seniors. It's not a million miles away. So just wanted to keep on this one because Joe Dunlop has just won a hand there, but nice Konstantin Chersin also just bust a player on the turbo knockout table, which means they're down to 5 now. Konstantin's now second in chips, and Brendan is 4th in chips. Wow. Okay, so for anyone anyone's fun. So Tony Ross is currently top of the leaderboard. Brendan needs a top 3 finish to overtake Tony. Konstantin needs a first place finish to overtake Tony, depending on where Brendan finishes. So all to play for. Brendan's all in, and Konstantin's made the call. So we're going to lose one of them possibly. Let's get there quickly. Ace 4 versus Ace Jack. and the jack is going to play. It's aces
Wow.
and queens with a jack. So Brendan gets a double up through Constantine, and I'm not sure whether that's good or bad for Tony. I'm not 100% sure really, but puts Brendan now up into second in chips. So looking more comfortable. Looks like I could be paying out on a couple of pints to Mr. Houston here at this rate, I think. It's okay. He's helped us out on the show enough, to be honest. Dan's worth a couple of pints, isn't he? I reckon.
Oh, absolutely.
Meanwhile, back on the no limit hold'em, it's Ace Jack versus Ace 9. It's the Ace Jack of Joe Dunlop at risk. He's hit a jack, and so that's going to be good enough. He's going to get a double up and leaves Yin Zhang with hardly anything. And actually, Joe's now, I don't know, it's Joe or Joseph, but Joe's now got a chip lead.
We're going officially with Joe.
We'll go with Joe.
That was extremely tight there in that table, but that's made a hell of a difference. Look at that. He's pushing all in straight away. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays out this.
I would imagine Yin's going to be, Yin's gone all in next hand. It's only just over a big, it's big and a half. So I'd imagine Mia's going to make the call from the big blind. I'd be very surprised for another 50,000 here with 260,000 in the pot. If I'm not quite sure what the delay is here, because press the call button, my friend. And there it goes. Oh, it's 10. It's 10 deuce. I can understand why, but it's a no-brainer. You just got to make the call, really.
Still live.
Yeah, and the jack kicker effectively plays, and a double up for Yin.
Who was the guy that raved through a casino back in the crikey, the 2000s? You called me with Jack High. Who was that guy? That was one of the great hands. Jack High, called me with Jack High. Out on the street. He was out on the street, Leigh, talking to passers-by.
Oh, that's a particular one there, though. You're getting over 5 to 1 on the money. There's just not a single hand that you shouldn't be making that call with, really.
Absolutely.
With your stack size there as well. Constantine's in a hand on the turbo table. It's being checked down to the river, so I won't flick over to that. We'll keep on this one for the time being. But we've lost another one in that turbo now, so we are down to 4. Brendan is 3rd in chips. Constantine is 4th in chips. Tony Ross is probably cracking open another beer, sat back in Ilfracombe, going, "Well, I can't do anything about it now." He's like he's in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? You know, Tony's posted his score. He's in the clubhouse. He can do nothing else.
He's sat back. He's getting fitted for the jacket as we speak.
Yeah,
listen,
exactly.
The Oracle has spoken. The Oracle, of course, is Simon Lawler, and he said Elix Powers, right? That was the guy who ran from the casino.
Yeah. All in the call, Meals King 3. It's the A6 of Yin that's at risk, and Yin has lost because Meals hit his 3. So we're down to 3.
Wow, there we go. It was, in fact, Elix Powers. A lot of love for Joe out there from Jamie and the guys. Barry and Tony is saying Brendan will fold to victory now. Well, we'll have to see. Listen, Leigh, you mentioned a couple of Rob Young's recent tweets, but you didn't mention the one that got me most excited of all when I saw it earlier in the week, and that was they've now got a TV table at Dusk Till Dawn, and he's talking about putting on some sort of reincarnation of late night poker. How awesome. Bloody cool would that be?
Why not? I think it's a really phenomenal. Good thing to do. Yeah, I think it'd be superb.
Give them 1,500 chips each. Start them at 25. I think that would be absolutely incredible.
It's what people want to see, isn't it? It's like it was in the good old days.
Exactly.
But it's great, and I think actually, as much as there's good content, poker content out there now, I do feel the poker content that's out there these days is very much aimed at existing poker players.
It's sterile, isn't it?
Whereas there are so many poker players that will tell you they got into poker because of late night poker, and the fact it was there, and the thought that actually that might potentially come around again with some personalities and names that people can get used to. I think it's a great idea, and if you can get it off the ground, then brilliant.
That was part of the draw of the original late night poker. These were ordinary people they looked ordinary people. They weren't wearing hoodies. They weren't super young and super techno in their approach and stuff like that. They were ordinary people with good poker nous, most of them, and they weren't perfect by any means. And I think that was the appeal, right? You could see their hands. They were sat there on behalf of you. It almost felt like.
Dan's in the chat. They're saying, it was Late Night Poker was filmed in Cardiff.
It wasn't he presentable? I think, was it Rob Thomas that was the producer on that? I did meet and speak to him on a few occasions. Epic show. Be great to see a version of it back. I don't know whether he's got any ability to reuse the Late Night Poker branding or anything like that. I don't know if that's part of his thinking, but definitely the idea of the show.
So do we know what they've actually put? Have they got is it like a studio table that's there, therefore in a separate room, or is it quite how they're doing it? Because obviously you'd ideally want it to be that. Yeah, I mean you don't need that much space. I mean I was very fortunate enough to get to go up to Sky a couple of times and be on the poker show up there on the Poker Channel, and the space you need is not massive for these kind of things, is it? To be able to put a good event on.
Absolutely right. So I guess the question will be whether they're going to use
all in a
an
call
outside room. Here we go.
And Joe's hit his ace. Just needs to avoid a deuce, and he does. And we are going to be heads up. I'm very even stacks now. Mia and Joseph, as we lose Neil Macon in third place. Well played to you.
So I guess we're calling for Joe here, Leigh. I think we have to. He's got the sport off the
really,
chat box. We got to give Joe a shout out.
Absolutely. Miha's played very well, to be fair. Not really done a huge amount wrong there, but Joseph very much now has slight chip advantage. We'll see how this plays out. Still four-handed in the turbo, and Miha's from Slovenia.
Okay.
So completing that little of info.
Dan says, "Screw the final. How's Brendan doing?"
Dan's
thinking about beer at the moment.
Brendan is currently second of four.
Second of four. He's back in it. Of course he is. Never in doubt. Is Constantine still rocking? Or is he gone short?
He's fourth of four. Okay. So as soon as unless there's any massive action in that one that I can see involving either of those two, we'll focus on this heads up, because obviously this is the one.
Joe's raising it here, and he takes it down. So he's found his momentum. In terms of what we've watched, he's found it late on in his final table, but he's found it at exactly the right time. Yeah,
it has done. And this is the thing now, is the pots building, and this could be all in here. Mia's raised it back up to just under half a mil, but doesn't actually. Joseph applies the pressure. Now is in a very strong position.
Be lovely to see his cards, wouldn't it, Leigh? Because he's playing very, very strong, but what's he holding?
Yeah, it's got nearly a 4-1 chip lead. Mia's just shoved on that board. Decision for Joseph. It's a quarter of his stack.
It's an ugly board, isn't it?
Yeah. Having a bit of a think here. And lets it go.
I guess
this is Mia's fairly aggressive, kind of like, okay, chips in, not messing about.
Brendan's had a bribe offered to him by Dan. He said there's half a lager in it for you if you make.
And it is all in the call. It's ace 5 and king 9. Needs to just avoid the king 9 hitting. And does, and that's going to be that. So Joseph Dunlop.
Well done, Joe Dunlop.
Well done to Joseph Dunlop. Picks up $818.85. We're winning the No Limit Hold'em main event tonight. Beating Mia Pinter from Slovenia second, $529, and we'll move straight across to the turbo. And I will get the lobby changed as well.
By the sound of it, Leigh, that sounds like Joe's wrapped up his team place at Dustle Dawn with the Coldstream boys as well.
It's always better playing under a bit of pressure, isn't there? That's what it's all about.
Got it done, didn't he? Got it done.
Yeah. So 4 players left in this now. So well done to Joseph on that one, and where are we with payouts on this? So it was 85 runners in this tonight. So the guys now are all guaranteed $38 plus their bounties that they've already won. And there's $91 up top. Well, up top of the second place money is pretty much the same. Obviously, we know that you can pretty much double that up when you pick up the final bounty. So it looks like the main bounty takers so far has been Christian Sinanu. Not quite sure whether I'm probably absolutely killing that surname, but anyway, Christian has already picked up $60 in bounties in this one. Urbe picked up $18, Brendan's picked up 23, and Constantine's picked up 22. So they've already got, say, it's for an $11 buy-in comp. They've already comfortably got their got a bit of profit.
Listen, there's a lot of love going on in the chat box for Joe's win. Andy Coyle says, "Get in, lad." Jamie, of course, says, "Boom." Barry,
and let's not forget that was from a $3.30 phase satellite this week, which are on every day during the week. So.
Do it. And Simon, of course, said nice spin up from $3. So get in, guys. Get in. What a great spin up that was.
$3 into $818. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good indeed.
Joe's out there. He's laughing and he says, "Cheers for the commentary, guys. All us at CPKR. It's gone all a bit Eastern Bloc like now. They've shortened the name. Coldstream. Poker, yeah. Love the show. He's lying there. He's after something, Leigh. Watch him. He's after something else now.
He's heard you might be going to the bar at Dust Till Dawn in a couple of weeks' time.
That, my friend, is not happening. I can't afford to go to because where do you stop, Leigh? Where do you stop?
Well, exactly. Yeah,
where do you stop? There's 280 of them behind you in the line. Where do you stop?
I'll send you to give Dan Houston his couple of pints. That's what I'll do.
Tell you what, Brendan has said, no self-respecting Irishman could admit to half a lager being any sort of motivation. And I fully appreciate that, I have to say. Even I do.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, completely. But this is a tough one for Brendan. So he's currently third of the four remaining. Obviously, Constantine needs to win this to top the leaderboard himself. So he's not going to give his chips up lightly here.
So listen, Leigh, let's get a couple of variables out on the table. What is the difference in prize money between third and first here?
Oh, it's $56 for third and 91 for first. Okay. But obviously first also that you then get the double bounty at the end because you've taken the final bounty. So it's going to be a chunk. It'll be a triple your money from third to first. So
okay,
comfortably.
So that's certainly worth doing. But so Brendan isn't going to allow himself to go short here, just hoping to ladder up into third, is he? He's going to continue to play. So he'll be at risk until such time as somebody goes out.
And ultimately, Brendan's going to be in a position here where I think he'll have enough points already in the bag to finish in the top five. So he's going to get double tokens anyway. So he's on a $55 step. So he's going to pick up two. He wants the kudos.
He wants the kudos, right?
Of course he does. Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, that's fully understandable. That's what you're after. Last week, Tony Ross won it last week with 7 cashes last week, and he picked up 246 points. There's the possibility here, it's he could end up. It certainly won't have got that many cashes this week, and he could end up topping it. It's going to be it's weird. Seven cashes last week for Tony was incredible. That was a remarkable performance. This week he could still end up top of the leaderboard with just 4 cashes. So. And you don't need to play them all. That's the great thing with this leaderboard ladders, guys, is you can get in the top 20 sometimes if you win one of the big runner ones.
Listen, so do we know whether he's been vaccinated? Could we maybe disqualify him like they did Djokovic in Australia? Could we get him out based on that?
Get him deported?
If he hasn't had his booster or something, you're out. You're out.
Do we have the power to deport somebody from Ilfracombe? I don't think we do we?
I think we
have
can.
that power.
Yeah, okay, I think so. We can send him across the border into Scotland.
Interesting here. That's the second time now Constantine's has just shoved it in. It gives Brendan a decision to make. It's half his stack. And obviously there's a little bit of a dynamic here. So it's... Do
we think, does Constantine know what's going on here?
I don't know. Well, I think so, because I think he does follow. Yeah, I don't know how much of whether he follows the show or whether he follows. But say Constantine regularly plays with APAT, so he's won tickets for weeks and weeks, so he knows exactly where that what's on offer for the added value that we give away every week. So
that's funny. No self-respecting Irishman could admit to half a lager. Brendan says we'll wait for Sue Gray on that one.
Yeah, everyone's waiting. Everyone's waiting for Sue Gray. Yeah,
let's hope. Let's hope she does the right thing.
The only reason we've not released a seat draw for Dusk Till Dawn, basically, we're waiting. Sue Gray's just investigating whether we've got it right. But I can guarantee you that will be a completely random draw. Although there was some suggestions of cough cough, wouldn't it be funny if? And it's but we don't work like that. So,
I'm only going to Nottingham because I heard it was a work event, Leigh. It's a work event.
Yeah,
right?
it's a work event. No, it's definitely
a work event.
But bring your own booze, Des.
Bring your own booze
in a suitcase. It must be in a suitcase.
What about the barbecue, Leigh? Are you providing barbecue? Do I have to bring my own ribs or what?
Barbecue in the car park. It'll be fine.
Fantastic. Buy the new TV table in the car park. Sweet.
It'd be great. Yeah, it's just what you want.
We're gonna heat your ribs on the TV lights.
Do you realise? I'm just thinking we're nearly 90 minutes into a show. We've talked a hell of a lot.
What have we not mentioned? What have we not mentioned?
And we've not even discussed football.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hey, but it's okay. So there's an international break coming up. I don't know what they're having a break from, because there's no European international games taking place. I think there's just the rest of the Africa Cup of Nations and some South American.
I think we're all just awaiting the next funny video coming out of AFCON. That's really what every day has to offer.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's quite worrying, isn't it? But
I can tell you one thing, Leigh. Us Liverpool fans, we're just celebrating a very, very, very tight win today, Crystal Palace.
Couldn't, in all seriousness, when you knew you were going to lose Salah and Mane.
It's a dream couple of weeks.
You thought you were going to lose them for the whole of January, and to think that you've ended up, you got to keep them for the first game against Chelsea. And then
I think we knew that, Leigh. I think we expected
you were going to hang on. Well, they changed the dates, didn't they?
Yeah, it was always in negotiation.
But it wasn't just for you. It was for
everyone, of course.
But the fact that actually that's ended up with, and that's the only points you've dropped.
Yeah, that's true.
And you've got through a double leg cup semi-final as well.
And
you've got to be looking at that and going,
round.
Yeah, you've got to be looking at that and going, what a January.
Oh, it's absolute dream.
You couldn't, to think that you didn't slip up.
Yeah.
And the only points you dropped was against Chelsea. Well, that's not.
Yeah. That was from 2-0 up. I mean, I was at that game. Well, whatever. It's done.
Yeah,
now.
You've got to. Say that was the one where you thought, well, if you're gonna without your 2-star strikers, and actually the rest of the team, fair play to them. They've stepped up and done the biz.
Scored a ton of goals, so it's all been good. And it was so pleasing to see City drop a couple of points yesterday, just because they're so mechanical at the moment. They're so bloody good. That it's really nice just to see that actually there's a bit of humanity there. When
Saints scored early, was it 7 minutes in or something like that? You still thought, they're going to get, they're probably going to get turned over by 3 or 4 here, and actually, I thought Saints played pretty well actually.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, that first half they could have been more than one up from what I hear. I heard a little bit of radio commentary on it.
Yeah. So so obviously we just got this weird thing now of this kind of this international break coming up, which is just bizarre.
Stu wants to know your thoughts on the FA Cup draw. Did United get Borough? Is that?
Yeah.
Is that at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
That's at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Leigh, what the hell?
Ace King versus tens.
Ooh, it's a race.
If we lose the Ace King here, we do. The tens are going to be good. We're going to lose a player, which means Brendan is guaranteed top 3.
Wow. Do the maths, Leigh. Do the maths.
Yeah, Brendan is guaranteed top 3 now. So
Constantine is very low here. He's
very low. Yeah.
He's going to be all in soon.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the way United are playing at the moment, I wouldn't surprise me if Borough beat us 1-0 or something like that. We're certainly not playing with any flow or consistency at the moment. We're getting some results. I mean, but it's not a pleasant watch at the moment. Constantine's all in here. I think it's going to get called by Brendan. May well get called by Christian as well. So will these guys check this down? They're going to check it all the way down here, I think.
Oh, it's a royal board.
Look at that board.
The board's going to play, isn't it? The board's going to play.
Brendan has a fire out of this. This is interesting. And he's got an ace, and so we're going to lose Constantine in third place.
He's
Must
got
have
to
been
love
looking at
that
that and
flop.
thinking, I can hold out there. So we're heads up. Brendan versus Christian.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
I think, as I'm pretty sure that's already going to be enough for for Brendan now. But I will just
while you're doing the
try
numbers, Leigh, just updating from the chat box, and obviously it's all gone off. It's all gone off with the mention of football. Dan is, well, I'm hearing no Super Bowl for Brady, and Stu says, thank God. Dan is saying, more to the point, how was that ridiculous United goal not chalked off? That would have been the very, very late winner yesterday, I gather. Triplin is saying, is it not Manny versus Salah in the quarter? Could be. I'm not entirely sure. It would be good if it was, because I'd like to see one of them back. Barry says 3 divisional games, all decided by walk-off field goals. Crazy. So he's talking about the NFL, of course. Well done, Brendan. Fair play to Tony Ross. Big as you'd expect. Stu says Burrows sold 10,000 tickets in less than 24 hours for that game. It will be loud. Good that it's loud. I'm not sure it'll be a great game.
FA Cup games are always. Is it 25% of the stadium? I think go to away fans in FA Cup. I think it's a bigger proportion for definitely, which is great. Yeah.
At Old Trafford, that's great. That's a lot of tickets. Stu said Constantine flopped a full house. He did. His queen wasn't good enough. Lots of that. Ace is in the house. Evening, people. You must have heard me talking about Man City. So lovely to see Ace in. You had a bit of a rough time with the old COVID, Ace. Glad to see you bouncing back, my friend. Let us know how you're getting on. And Jamie says, great show, guys. Can't wait to catch up at Nottingham. For sure. Cannot wait. Let's do it.
It's going to be good. That's for sure. I'll tell you what, Des. It's an expensive week this week. We might be on a budget for Nottingham in 3 weeks' time if they're with what we're paying out this week. I think.
Oh no, we're gonna have to cancel it, Leigh. We're gonna have to pull Nottingham.
This is cool. Blimey, this is an expensive. I think this could be the most expensive week we've ever had on Leaderboard Ladders.
Don't say that, because it's not only that. It's like we got to provide 24 team medals as well. 24 with boxes.
Can we melt? Have we got anything we can melt down and redo? I don't know. It's going to be It's but obviously we're watching the heads up between Brendan and Christian playing for to see who's going to scoop the final money here. But actually it doesn't matter where Brendan finishes now in this one. I think it's a done deal.
Yeah, done deal. Well, listen, Ace is come back all okay now. Thanks. That's really good to hear. The countdown for Nottingham is on. Good.
That's what you want. But I'll say whilst we're watching this one play out, will rattle through where we're going to where this is going to end up tonight now. So Brendan is going to end up top of the leaderboard ladders for the week with six cashes. He's a step fiver, Des. He's a step 5.
That's all right.
Tony Ross is going to finish in second. He's had 4 cashes this week. He's a step 5 as well. Konstantin Chersin from Russia is going to finish in third. He's a step 5.
Holy Jesus, Leigh! Who designed this program? What the hell?
Gordon MacArthur from Scotland. Don't know whether you've heard of that place, but he's from Scotland. He's going to finish in fourth. He's a step 5.
Oh, cheap date. A cheap date. A lot of them, Leigh.
Yeah, and Eddie Niax is going to finish in 5th. He's a step 4. We've taken
quite the hit. We've taken quite the hit tonight.
Yeah. So all of those guys, just to repeat, a step 5 is $55 tickets. So Brendan's going to pick up 3 of those. Tony, Constantine, Gordon are going to pick up 2 each. Eddie's going to pick up 2 lots of $33 tickets. Then Dean Morby finishes in 6th, just misses out on the top 5, but he'll pick up a ticket as well. Shug finished in 7th. He's on step 4, so he's going to pick up a ticket at $33 as well. Tony G has made it in. He's in 8th place, so he's going to move up to step 3 next week. So well done to him. Gary Young, Yanni has also made it in the top 20. Heribert Feldkoffer from Germany is a regular player. He's on step 3, so he's going to move up to step 4 next week as well. And in 20th place, sneaking in there, haven't seen him play much lately, but one Rob Swindells.
Oh, sweet.
Had a win. He only had 1 win. He won a tournament
during
the week. I mean, nice. Saturday night, actually. Friday or Saturday night.
Nice top 20 there, Leigh.
Has just scraped in there, and so he'll move up a step. But you can, with the right tournament, get into the top 20 and pick up a ticket. You don't need to sit and play them every night.
I like that very much. But that top five, Leigh, I feel like I went on a surfing holiday to Tobago and they said, you won't believe the size of the waves. Well, those waves have come crashing in.
Yeah.
They've crushed us. There'll be no APAT show next week, guys. We're going to have to recover, frankly.
Yeah, that is definitely the most expensive leaderboard ladders we've had in Andy Valley. But the point is that's what we do it for. We want to give the tickets out. We want to give value back to you guys. That's the whole point of doing this. And if some of you guys can get up there and regularly play, but these guys can do it, so can you. If you're watching and or play a little bit, and fancy giving it a go, try and work your way up the ladder, go for it. We're on week 44 of it, so this so far, and I've never totted up how much we've actually paid out, but as I say, I know that we give out over 100 tournament tickets every month back to the players, all in added value.
It's all good. It's all good. And listen, there might be some offers for you here in the chat box, Leigh. Stu will sell you a trophy for £1,000. I think we're going to give that one a miss. But on the flip side, Dan will sell you 22 medals at £1.25 each. I think we may well be interested.
We might take him up on that offer. Yeah.
We'll DM you on that one, Dan. Don't you worry.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that's the case. So I guess the other thing to make the point of is so we're 3 weeks away from Dusk Till Dawn, but that means we've got 2 more APAT shows, and then obviously the Sunday we're at Dusk Till Dawn we'll be doing something different. So it won't be the APAT show as such in this format because we'll all be up in Nottingham, but we will look to do something. But the leaderboard ladders will continue, so we don't take a break because we've got a live event that will continue. The tournaments will be on a Saturday, Sunday night. I mean, what I would say, haven't spoken to Party Poker about this, but Party tend to not budge with the guarantees. They tend to keep them as they are. So you might find there's a little bit of value in that weekend when we're up at Dusk Till Dawn. If you're not there and want to play online, get in and play. Well worth it. And if you can get up the steps a couple of places between now and then, well, hey, you might find that you have a great chance to because I certainly know there's a few that on the leaderboard here now that I know will be at Dusk Till Dawn playing. You watch, they'll probably be on their iPads or whatever playing at the tables as well, and still crushing the online games as well. But
live from the bar.
Yeah.
What little phrase did you make famous within our small circle during the WCOAP? Get involved. Get involved.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, very much.
There you go. Look at that, Leigh. Look at that. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Really looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. I think we've done the right thing in just waiting and seeing how things pan out, and now very much feels like the right time to be getting back and playing some live poker. Looking forward to it very much.
Dan said that that 125 per medal, that's double what Cash Converters offered him. He's tried to convert our medals into cash for some sort of broken down guitar or something. What the hell?
Trying to buy a pair of Adidas trainers, isn't he? That's what he's trying to do.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's found, a 1970s John McEnroe pair or something.
Oh, wow.
High tops. It's got to be
very
something.
Nice.
With the original laces.
Very nice. So I went through it's a good article on IMDb about TV shows that are coming up this year.
Yeah.
I'll probably save it for another week or two because it's well worth rattling through this. But there's some good stuff coming up on TV this year. And we always like a good binge series or whatever's going on, and can't wait. But the next bit of Billions starts tomorrow, I think it is.
Right. So okay. I fell out of love with Billions, I have to say, which is a shame. But it's so hard to start back into it. That's what I found. I found a new little one, which I think might have been on the BBC, called Hidden Assets. Which was,
we're watching. We've got
funny.
two to go on that.
Very good.
It's Belgium
Irish.
and Ireland, isn't it? Yeah.
Belgium Irish collaboration.
It's a bit. I struggle with. I was saying to Jen earlier on about, because we watched a couple of episodes this afternoon, and I really struggle with dramas where the dialogue is written, so the screenwriting is done in a way where they're having conversations which aren't natural, but they're having conversations to explain backstories and,
Oh, I know.
and
Yeah.
give you more
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
information. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
and I get so frustrated with those kind of things because it's just, you're better off not doing it. Make it a natural flow of a conversation because it feels quite, there's a great one in American series called SWAT. And they are shockingly bad at doing it, where there'll be 5 of them in a room having a conversation about something, and it's just the most
It's all
unnatural
just
thing, but it's giving
backstory
you all the
waffle.
information that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to watch it.
There's a scene, and I'm sure you'll have seen it in what do we call that Irish one again? Something assets.
Hidden assets.
Hidden assets. There's a scene where a forensic detective, right? She's obviously the financial guru. She's the one that goes through all of the company accounts to find.
She loves a whiteboard.
She looks up at this whiteboard and she says, "The answer is up there," and you can just see the glow in her eyes. And I'm thinking, I could like that character. I can see a breakaway series just for that character.
Yeah, it's one of, and you shouldn't pick holes but when you're watching stuff, you kind of, there's one point where they both got their guns drawn as they're going towards a bike, and she's walked across his line of fire, and I'm like,
detail.
It's like, this wouldn't happen. Just like,
to be honest, with the guards, it might.
Yeah. And we got an all in the call, and Ace Nine's gonna play there, so Brendan's gonna take a serious chunk of chips there. Yeah.
And we got it all in. And Brendan's got the absolute nuts here.
Yeah, it's just going to avoid a diamond. And he does.
There we go.
And that is going to be that. Yeah. So
nice
our winner of Leaderboard Ladders that was already guaranteed before that adds to it even more. And actually Brendan ends up picking up, as I say, this is where the bounties really play at the end there. So they both pick up $91 for their finishing positions. Christian ends up picking up $72. I think I said to you he was already on about 60 with about 4 players to go. Brendan ends up picking up a cool $157 of bounties. Yeah. So he's ended up picking up about $250 in total prize pool out of the 850 available. So that's why these progressive knockouts are so popular and everybody loves playing them. But that just Brendan's cementing end to the week. Very well done to him.
Everybody loves a winner, baby. So guys, that's it from us for this week. Well done to Brendan, all of our other winners tonight, all of you guys for playing with us last week. Thank you. Everything starts again tomorrow evening on Party Poker. As you know, Leigh and I will be back next Sunday. We're going to do this all over again. But Leigh, one key point of difference will be a week closer. And I think we'll have twice the number of people on. I think the chat will be more full of banter. So make sure you are in here for it. So we'll see you then, guys. Have a great week between now and Sunday. Ciao, ciao.